Have you been compromising your truth for love or dimming your light just to fit in? Today, I invite you not to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Stay tuned. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe, base spheres, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today's topic is don't dim your truth for love. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification button. And if you're returning, I want to welcome you and I want to thank you for being on this journey with me. And I've been getting so much positive feedback that I just wanted to take just a minute to just embrace this moment in this thankful month with Thanksgiving coming, that I just give thanks to you and all of you that have entered my life and this path and that are giving me also purpose. And as I show up to deliver, I just want to acknowledge all the beautiful messages that I've received and also the donations that has been paid forward to the channel to Champ's mission for any videos. There's a link below for that as well. So let's talk about what I mean when I say don't compromise your truth for love. So I want to kind of talk about the aspect of the truth being your light inside. It's what sparks you. It's something that, being in your truth says that you have confidence in who you are now, that you've been working on creating this new identity as we go forward, especially in the 2020 with clear vision. And it says you're starting to know what you desire, but most importantly, that you're owning that truth, okay, of within your light. But what has happened along the way, we have programmed ourselves to compromise this light, to compromise our truth for this twin flame journey that has been helped us get into this truth, but in some ways for so many people has pulled out of alignment with the personal truth, and they're sacrificing their personal truth for what they're chasing after, this concept of the twin flame love that is pulling them out of alignment with herself. And so it becomes this like battle. And what I want to say kind of about all of this, about what I'm going to say, is there is contrast and duality of both sides of the coin, meaning we have to find our truth, we have to know all sides and all aspects of everything and go through some of those parts of ourselves and all the many pieces of us and put on all the different masks of who we are so that we can then claim and recreate and reinvent ourselves from the new version of us. And that is my mission with this particular topic, is for you to start taking the energy that you've placed on love for your twin flame or the journey that you have lost along this way, and choose that you're not going to compromise who you are for that love, no matter if it's your twin flame or not. That you need to hold that space for your truth, your light, your integrity, your purpose, your happiness, and love for yourself. So let's talk about what compromise means for a minute. If we're going to talk about stop compromising, I want to really help you see the two sides to the coin of compromise and why they're both beneficial and why they're both crucial to your development within this idea of not compromising. So compromise has a give and a take to it, and we got to find the balance in that. We tend to be overgiving, and it compromises ourselves and our desires and our ability to own to give ourselves the desires we're asking somebody else to give to us. So that gets out of balance when we give ourselves away too much. So in compromising, if we need to also learn the side of giving space to another person, meaning like giving space potentially, in this case, your twin flame, letting go of the expectations, the conditions, the codependency, the need to fill the void, the need to have control over what's happening or not happening to you or around you from this experience that you signed up to experience. So in this case, what I want to share with you is that you might need to let go of the control of your ability to love unconditionally for your twin flame or anyone based on you feel like that they're not giving you what your needs and your needs are not being met, but that's triggering within you your own wound and your withholding, which is only compromising within yourself your ability of your own gifts or your own love of what you have to offer someone. And you might need to put a boundary there and not overgive it. So that's where the opposite comes into this about, that's when we need to compromise our expectations. We need to let go of the conditions, and we need to stop trying to fill that void from someone. But when it hits this little teetering point, it comes to the other side of that we should be able to attract people and partners into our lives that fill us up, that sees our light, that finds the value in us, finds the worth in us, that cares how we feel, that wants to give us what we deserve. And in this twin flame journey, this is where it's not happening that often. You've been the giver. You've compromised your own needs to fill the void for, or to give to somebody else, that's created like an expectation of them also filling a void within you that they can't fill, and setting you up to have a condition on them that they can't attune to. And then you have in reverse of that emotions, feelings that's triggering inside of you, that's creating the hurt, suppressed emotions that need to come out so you can release them. So in that, you can look at that as a positive thing in that experience. But then that reflection then reflects in that experience of that is pointing back to you to see the love for yourself by stop overgiving. Don't give things that are compromising you just because you think it's something you also want. And you do. That's why you're giving it. But we're different people and we have different love languages. Some people need gifts. Some people need time. The 5 love languages, the book that's out there. And some people need words and some people need to be heard. And we're coming at this compromising to get on the same page or the same love language in a way that it becomes a give and a take that comes into harmony. But for you to have that with someone else, you need to find that within yourself, the harmony of your own give and take, your own needing to know when you need to compromise your actions, or even compromise in filling your void in the need to take from your twin, and you need to give them space. That's you compromising for them, yourself, to give back to them their space that you're pulling in for the void. You need to give that space. You need to learn to compromise in that without feeling rejected, pain, hurt, guilt, shame. On the flip side of that is what I'm saying is, don't then compromise all these things that you want and desire, and especially the love that you deserve, Don't compromise that by giving it and putting your attention, your energy, your focus into places that's not an equal return for you. That then is compromising your truth and your value for the love that is a toxic chemical type love, not true love, because true love doesn't need to have to compromise itself, its harmony, its balance, its yin and its yang. And the other thing I want to say about the love aspect of that, along this journey, we've been learning so many lessons within ourselves to discover this truth of who we are, what we desire, and where we're going, and letting go of our past and learning all these lessons. And we're still stuck in the idea that we have to keep learning them, and therefore we maybe have to set ourselves up to compromise something. You don't have to compromise anymore. If it doesn't fit your values, your desires, there's no longer a need to have to learn lessons about love. Love doesn't need lessons. Love supersedes this lessons, and love is harmony, grace, humility. Love is patient, kind. Love is giving somebody that space and not filling them in your void, and compromising your need of that to give them that space, which becomes the love and the harmony and the balance of that. And when it comes to any person or your twin, do not let yourself don't let them dim your light and pull you out of alignment with your highest good that you deserve and you desire. And don't give them that power over you, because giving them the power over how you feel, what you desire, over your values, and the respect that you deserve, that's not love. There's no need that you need to compromise for this toxic love of the twin flame that's magnetically pulling you to them and purging you of you and purifying you of the past for these lessons. You don't have to be in that vibration anymore. You can change the program. You can change the way that you feel by changing your thoughts around how you feel. Because technically, you can't fully change how your emotions are. You need to honor them. You need to, in the feeling of that, you need to become kind and compassionate and be okay with feeling wherever you are. But the way you do change it is through those thoughts and then the actions that give you back in return your own ability to create self-love for your own needs, desires, and your truth of who you are and what you want. And when you give yourself away, you're only compromising that. And I'm telling you, there's not anything worth compromising or dimming your light or compromising yourself and who you are to get someone to love you. I invite you to step out of that old paradigm. That's the old pattern of twin flame concept. That's the old pattern of a twin flame thought, an idea, and we are rewriting all patterns, all programs. That's an old program for twin flames. If you're still experiencing it, you now in this new earth, new energy, have the ability to make another choice, because you create your reality. Therefore, you're attracting into your reality what you need for those loops. And if someone can't do that for you, then maybe on the flip side of the coin is for you to set the boundary, to be a test to say, at this point, I don't have to compromise anymore, where I was compromising before. And then you're finding the balance of the both sides of the compromise and not compromising to create the value and the love for yourself, for what you deserve, which is going to amplify your feeling of your own worth and attract to you more of a higher vibrational partner or person or people or experiences that match something different from that reality. This is how I'm being shown to be able to shift through realities and to not be so stuck in one way all the time. So if you really want to define self-love in this, it's stop compromising your truth and dimming your light. And stop dimming the light in such a way that you need it to fit in or to bring to you or to align with or to desire someone that's unworthy of your shine. Because that's only robbing you and pulling you down and causing you not to shine. And you won't shine then because that's devaluing you. That is not being appreciative. That's not being accepted. And if they don't see those values in you, then they don't deserve your shine. And it's time to step out of that loop or step out of that program or step away from that person that you don't have to keep repeating the pattern is the point. Because any person that loves you is going to value you. And that could be in all relationships. They don't have to agree with you. They don't have to have the same truth as you. But there comes a place of needing acceptance within each other. That can become the compromise of the give and the take and the harmony within your dynamic of you and that other person. So how can you find balance in your give and take and bring harmony to your compromise? When the number one thing is you need to believe in your truth. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your journey. You need to own it, speak it, live it. And if you aren't in your truth and you don't know what that is, that's the first place to start. To finding your truth is knowing who you are. It's facing yourself. It's aligning with the core of your soul, good and bad, coming into a place of acceptance, value, worth within yourself. That only then can you attract the other person that's going to have that in you or see that in you. Because people also see in you what you see in yourself. So another thing that you could do is be brave. And to be brave, what that means is you came here to make a difference, and you came here to be basically the black sheep of family. You came here to break down rules and regulations and patterns and templates and patriarchs and cultures and religious beliefs and limiting beliefs. And in order to do that, says you have to stand up for what you believe in. Let me give you an example of this. My grandson that I interviewed a year or two ago about being the black sheep of the family, I'll leave a link to that here. He was at school yesterday, excuse me, and he went to the bathroom. And first of all, I want to tell you about him. He basically is very Unitarian within himself. He's been told that he likes boys, and he's like about to turn 13 next month. And so he's different, and he's made fun of a lot because of his, kind of like his presence he gives off from a standpoint of being different, and also made fun of for that. So, and he wears like actually nail polish and things like that, different things. And he has even asked at home to dress in certain ways that he doesn't dress at school. But he was wearing a specific jacket that had to do with some kind of a cartoon thing. And two boys met him in the bathroom yesterday And basically, they bullied him, terrified him, beat on the doors, trapped him in a stall. He ended up being late for class. And when he got there, the teacher asked him, why he was late, and he told him, and then he ended up going to the counselors, and the principal's words to him were, maybe you shouldn't wear the jacket. His response to this is today, coming home, having cleared his head, is today he went back wearing the same jacket because he was going to be brave. He wasn't going to allow someone to rob him of the experience of being who he is. And he's going to show up in that place of being brave. That's making a difference, folks. And that's why our younger generations are doing it as well. They're coming in with that truth in them that's already awakened to, that's taking us to wake up to be that brave. I mean, you got to think about that. He's almost 13 years old. And he's brave enough to say, they're not going to rob me of who I am, and I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to show up no matter how terrified I am. Could we do the same as an adult in our life, in our jobs, being, he's being bullied, like things like this going on in our job, in our everyday life, and, within our twin flame dynamic? Are we brave enough to stand up for who we are? I just invite you to ask you that. This wasn't even really part of this topic, but obviously it needed to come through because it apparently is a great lesson for us all in this. So being brave will help you own that truth. Believing in yourself enough. Obviously, he believes in himself enough that he's being brave enough to be bold enough to go out. And then the third one is live that truth out for who you are, what you desire, what you deserve. And don't compromise your light, your truth, for love from anyone that says, if I'm giving it, I'm not getting it back. Why are you giving your love away and compromising that love when it's not returning to you? As we go into 2020, into the new vision of our new way to live out and reinvent ourselves with clarity and truth, and the 2020 marks going forward in this truth. I just leave you today with those 3 things of believing in yourself, be bold and brave, and then own and speak that truth so that you can stop compromising your truth for something that is not coming in return and balance for you, that's then only robbing you of your energy that you need to put somewhere else in order to deliver the desires of your heart, to raise your vibration, to lift your spirits and your feelings to match what it is you truly want, that will help bring your new identity into form as you move forward through this next year and beyond. Okay? So I'm sending you so much love, and be sure to stay tuned. I have a very special surprise with the interview of a divine masculine in purpose next week and his journey, and it's going to actually be in multiple segments and parts, but it'll come out on Thanksgiving Day. So love you all. Loads of love. Have a great rest of your day, and make sure that you check out my resources below on how to glow forward. Check out my Reprogram Your Childhood Wounds, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.